All right. You ever have one of those nights where the wind sounds like it's dragging secrets right across your windowsill? That was the kind of night when this story started. The kind of night where truth feels heavier, like it's been bottled up too long and it's finally ready to burst. I remember sitting there thinking how sometimes the biggest revelations in life come not from strangers or enemies, but from the people who share your blood, the ones who know your footsteps before you take them. And that's where this whole thing really begins, with a sister who carried a truth too heavy for her heart, and a brother who never saw the storm coming until it was already over his head. Charlie always believed family meant loyalty carved in stone, unbreakable and unshakable. But there was a moment he never talked about publicly, a moment wrapped in silence and regrets, a moment when everything he thought he understood cracked like thin glass under pressure. His sister, Lisa. Now she was quiet most days, calm like the surface of an untouched lake. But calm water often hides deep currents, and she had seen things she never wanted to see, truths she never wanted to know. She had kept them buried because she believed protecting her brother meant protecting his heart. But sometimes secrets don't stay buried, they claw their way to daylight. The night she reached out, her voice trembled like someone who'd run too far, too fast, for too long. She said she couldn't carry it anymore. She said she had something he needed to see, and she sent him a file, just a small one, a handful of text messages, the kind that at first glance don't look like much, but once your eyes run across them, once your brain starts connecting meaning with reality, well, there's no going back. Charlie opened those messages alone. He was sitting in a dimly lit room, blinds half closed, a single lamp flickering like it knew something bad was coming. He always trusted the people closest to him, trusted their words, trusted their intentions, trusted the promises they made. Trust was all he ever wanted. But those messages, they told a different story. A story about doubts, about conversations he was never meant to hear, about plans and whispers that ran behind his back like smoke through cracks in a door. He stared at the screen for a long while without blinking. You know how sometimes a man just freezes when reality hits him between the eyes? That was him right there, sitting still as stone, barely breathing, trying to convince himself that he misunderstood, that there had to be another explanation, but the truth was lined up plain as daylight. You could feel it twisting inside him, tearing at him, unraveling every good memory, thread by thread. He read messages that sounded like rehearsed lines of a script designed to keep him blind. Messages talking about him like he was an obstacle, not a partner. Messages that lined up with moments he had ignored for far too long, those strange silences, those long nights out, those sudden excuses that felt like loose notes in a song that no longer rhymed. And there, right in the center of that screen, was something that broke him in a way he couldn't hide. Words that confirmed he was never supposed to know what was really going on until it was too late. His sister wrote at the bottom, "I didn't want to tell you. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought it would fix itself. But you deserve truth, even if it hurts." He sat there reading her message over and over again until his hands shook so badly he had to put the phone down. His breath felt heavy, like he was trying to swallow grief whole. He got up, paced the room, fingers pressed against his temples like he was trying to squeeze the pain out of his skull. You ever seen a man realize that the world he built wasn't real anymore? It's like watching a house collapse in slow motion, every brick falling with the sound of something breaking inside a heart. He didn't yell. He didn't slam doors. Quiet pain is the kind that cuts deepest. He called his sister, voice low and broken, and she answered already, crying. She told him she was sorry, that she should have come sooner, that she should have told him the moment she felt something was wrong. But guilt's a stubborn thing. It clings like wet cloth, weighs a soul down till it can barely breathe. She said she had watched him defend someone who hadn't defended him back, watched him fight battles for someone who didn't stand beside him when the fire hit. She said she couldn't watch him drown anymore. And on the other end of that line, Charlie just whispered, "I wish you told me sooner." He meant it, because he knew right then that everything he thought he was protecting had already slipped through his fingers long before he woke up to the truth. He walked outside that night, into the cold, looking up at the sky like maybe the universe would answer back. His footsteps echoed on the pavement, heavy and slow, carrying more weight than any man should have to carry alone. He said he felt like he'd been living in a room full of mirrors, and suddenly every reflection shattered. He realized he had been abandoned long before he understood what loneliness meant. He realized promises spoken with a smile can still hide knives. He realized silence is sometimes the loudest warning of all. And his sister, she stayed on the line the whole time, crying quietly, trying to hold together a heart she didn't break. When the call ended, he wasn't the same man. Something inside him had shifted, hardened, rebuilt, piece by piece. Betrayal is a strange teacher. It burns away illusions and leaves only the bones of truth behind. Charlie walked back inside and sat down, staring at his phone again, not because he needed to read the messages again, but because he needed to remember the moment his world flipped upside down. Once you see truth, you can't unsee it. Once a heart breaks, it doesn't return to its original shape. It rebuilds, different, stronger, sharper, aware. And he knew that night that the life he had been defending was gone long before he realized it. His sister saved him, not by protecting him from pain, but by ending the lie that was swallowing him whole. And sometimes the hardest truth is the one that sets you free. People say time heals everything, and maybe it does, but some scars stay on the soul, so you never forget what blind trust costs. And he learned something important. Loyalty is precious, love is priceless, and truth, well, truth is the only thing that stands when everything else crumbles. And if you ever find yourself ignoring your instincts, silencing your doubts, or brushing away warnings because you want the fairy tale more than the truth, remember his story. Remember the night when the truth finally came knocking. Remember the words he whispered when it all came crashing down. He found out too late. Don't make the same mistake. And if you want more stories like this, more deep dives into hard truths and lessons carved from the bone of experience, go on now and hit that subscribe button for more videos.